guide him through the Boston Marathon. Now he is an accomplished runner like me. He had qualified for the Boston Marathon as I had some years before. And he had run without guides, but this time what he really wanted was he wanted someone to just help him with the crowds. The Boston Marathon is pretty crowded. And also to watch for flaws in the pavement, because as you can imagine, being visually impaired, if you fall, you have no warning, right? Unlike you and I would, can put out our hands, but he couldn't, and it could be, and had been for him, a little dangerous. So my job, run to his left and watch out for flaws in the pavement. And I was like, all right, I will be happy to do that. In fact, I was very excited to do that because one of the problems I have is that my kids at that point did not want me to help take care of them, so I had a kind of fatherly instinct that was otherwise being unused. So the race started and off we went, and William is a wonderful guy and was very gracious, and we had a good time. He didn't need a lot of help, because I said his vision was affected to a certain extent. And so mainly we chatted, and he is somebody who has dealt with a lot of difficulties, starting with that accident that was supposed to have killed him, or at least disabled him for life, and he's gone on to have a successful career and a wonderful marriage to his wife Ellen, and he became a successful marathoner, and so he's sort of like this wonderful self-pity, dampening zone, given his attitude. And I found myself really enjoying this race because, for reasons I've said, I didn't have a chance to take care of the people I wanted to take care of, so damn it, I would take care of William. He was a little easier, for example, unlike other people, I didn't have to change his diapers. And I remember we got to the very famous Wellesley Screen Tunnel, which is at Wellesley, and they've been doing this for years for reasons I do not know. The students of Wellesley line up in the course, and they hold up signs saying, "Kiss me, I'm from California," or "Kiss me, I'm a history major," or "Kiss me, I'm Jewish," or "Kiss me, I'm whatever." And they want the runners to kiss them, which if you've ever met runners at mile 13 of a marathon, may seem irrational to you, but nonetheless, I was for it. And I thought we would make out like a bandit. Bandits, here's the brave blind runner, here's his selfless guide. Come on, ladies. And we got there, and I said, "Wait, this is gonna be great." And he's like, "I'm sorry, I promised my wife I'd never kiss anybody but her." And I was like, "You son of a bitch." We kept going, and William started to have trouble. I don't know, again, people who've run the Boston Marathon will know this, that there are these famous hills in Newton. They're called the Newton Hills, and they're not very steep, but they come at just the wrong time in a marathon, starting at mile 17, and the longest and most difficult of them, known as Heartbreak Hill, is at mile 20, which is just really when you don't want to be running up a hill after having run 20 miles. And William started to falter. He had to stop and use a porta potty. So that's the first time I did anything for him. I said, "Here, let me find it for you. I have to get him more Gatorade." He had to stop and stretch his legs, and he was not having a good day. This is very common. It happened to me the first time I ran the Boston Marathon in 2007. It really wiped me out. And so he was starting to suffer, and I was trying to come up with ways to keep him going, trying to, motivate him. So for example, one of the things I did is we approached about mile 18 that'd be more like mile 22 in Brookline. I said to him, "Oh look, William, my uncle and aunt are going to be watching the race. They live in Brookline. They're going to take our pictures. Let's look good." And so he picked it up and started running again, and my aunt took the picture that I think is on the top left. Is that right? Of the sheet of me and William running that day in Boston. That's William, obviously. That's me, the short guy with an impressive looking thighs. And then right after that, he's like, "I gotta walk." And I was like, "That's cool, that's cool." And I was really, I have to tell you that I have become obsessed with getting him to his goal. His goal had been running it in 3:45, which is a pretty impressive time. It would have been a PR, a personal record for him by quite a bit. But if he couldn't do that, then he said, "Well, I obviously want to run under 4 hours. That's absolutely the standard." And we weren't probably going to make that either at that point. He had more cramps, he had to stop. At one point, we had gotten to Boston College, and he had stopped to stretch out his legs against the side of the road, and some young women were watching us. And I was like, and they started talking, I said, "Come with us." And she was like, "Okay." I said, "Come on." And they started running with us, and we ran about quarter of a mile, and I say that William like totally picked it up, raised his head, and put out his chest, because as I said to him, I think that even if you can't see them, attractive young women are a strong incentive for heterosexual men. He denies that it had anything to do with the woman. It was just being polite. But at any rate, he kept going a little bit, and then the woman, they said, well, our friends are back, so they stopped and they left him. And I was running out of ideas, but again, I was really obsessed with getting him to the finish line. I mean, I had failed it so much, I have to tell you at that point, that getting William Greer to the finish line of the Boston Marathon was like I was going to do that. And we were getting there, and I kept trying to incentivize him. And I said, William, there's like the tall buildings in downtown Boston ahead. Can you see them? And he's like, no, I can't see them. And finally, we're walking, and I said to him, look, William, I know you're having a hard day, but the last mile of the Boston Marathon is like the most amazing thing in running, because you're running through downtown Boston, you take a right on Hereford Street, you take a left on Boylston Street, and all of a sudden, you're in like a canyon of heroes, right? Boylston Street is packed with people, they're all cheering, the buildings are tall, the noise is amazing, everybody's cheering for you. You can't walk that, man, you gotta run. And he said, I'll do my best. But we got there, and he didn't. In fact, he turned very quickly and sped up, took that right turn, and went right toward an enormous pothole, which I assume had just appeared that day, the way the potholes do, because it was marked by this orange cone. And of course, I was on his left, as he had told me to be, where his best peripheral vision was, so he turned right, and I was behind him, and I went, ah! And he dodged around it. Wow, I was amazed, and he kept going, and I'm chasing him now. I am chasing this guy. He gets to Boylston Street, and he turns left. And I'm like, William, you're gonna make it. I said, William, can you see the finish line? And he said, yes. And I said to the crowd, I said, everybody, it's William. And I said, yeah, William. And he's cheering, and he's calling his name. It was awesome. And he crossed the finish line, and he kept going. And I said, you can stop. And he stopped. And he collapsed, because that was all adrenaline and guts and willpower. He had, I was gonna say he had nothing left. He had nothing left 2 miles before. That was just absolute determination, and he was miserable, and I was so proud. I was prouder of him than I can remember being prouder of anybody, including myself. I felt absolutely great for the first time in a while that I had managed to help him do this. But because he was so exhausted, we didn't move very far into what's called the chute, which is that long stretch of pavement that they set up, and you got your Gatorade, and you got your medals, and you got your other stuff. And we were standing there, and William was like, well, I want to go see Ellen, and then there was this enormous boom! Like right behind us. I turned around, and there was this enormous cloud of white smoke coming up from just the other side, from our perspective, of the finish line. And we go, what the? Boom! And we had absolutely no idea. I had run at that point 10 marathons before that, and I had never seen that before, and we had no idea what it was, and somebody said, do you think it was a bomb? And I'm like, don't be ridiculous, how could it be a bomb? And the volunteers around us didn't know what was going on. And so they were just like, well, come on, and their supervisors who were sitting up on chairs had headsets, and they knew what was going to do. They said, okay, just keep moving, and so we moved away. And it was weird, because we, for a little while, were the most innocent people in America. We didn't have our phones. So we didn't know what had happened. Something had happened. So while the rest of America, especially you guys in Boston, were getting the news of the bombings, we were like, we want another Gatorade. We walked rather than run that last mile. I don't know where we would have been. Maybe we would have still been so far back that we would have been among the many people who were stopped, who were prevented from finishing. Maybe we would have finished anyway. Maybe we would have been walking right up to the finish line when the bombs went off. And I realized that it was William's last amazingly gutsy mile that got us home. I don't know if he had saved us. I know this, that in the beginning of my whole interesting divorce experience, when things started to go very, very bad, somebody had given me a mug with a spurious quote from Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill has been credited with more spurious quotes than any other human being. But this is a pretty good one. The quote is, "If you're going through hell, keep going." And that's what William did. And that incident spurred a lot of things, including the book that I'm very grateful you came here to get, and that story is told. But one of the things that happened was that everybody who was there determined instantly, the people who had finished the race, the people who weren't able to finish the race, the people who didn't run that race that year but wanted to, the people in the greater Boston community, the people in the greater running community, determined that we were going to come back the next year, as I did.